Greetings, everyone. I hope you are all doing well. Welcome back to the spring semester. I had promised a short video giving you a little bit of an overview orientation to the way that the Ecotheology course will run for the last 5 weeks of the semester. And here it is. So what I would like to do for here is walk you through where some of the changes can be found in the course syllabus and on the Desire to Learn page, where everything right now is. And then in the second half of the video, focus a little bit more on what's due this week, the first week that we are back from spring break, that is the presentation proposal, and how all that's going to work. I'm going to begin by sharing my screen so that you can see what I am showing you online. Okay, so here's the home page for our course, and as you can see, there has been a new syllabus posted. In that syllabus, the material that is new, the changes that have been made, are in red so that you can see what's different. Any of the text in the syllabus that is black is the same that it was from the beginning of the semester. So I would say it's pretty important for you to go through and read any of the things that are in red text, especially to see what's different, what's new about the course. As before, at the end of the semester, at the end of the syllabus, the course, the assignments for each week are posted, and you can find here on page 13 of the current syllabus, week by week, the details in pretty broad terms for what is due. Everything that you need to complete any of these assignments is online, and that includes all of the reading from this point through to the end of the semester. Any drop boxes or any discussions or any kind of anything, any links to videos, it's all there. Right now, weeks 10 and 11 are complete and ready for you on D2L. From week 12 through 15, I still have some more decisions to make and some more things to pull together and post. I have posted a general description of what assignments there will be and what events there will be during those weeks. But on Desire to Learn, those weeks are not yet visible because I still want to do some changes, some tweaking. So I expect that the syllabus will continue to be updated in some minor ways in the weeks going forward. The most current update was today, Sunday, at 9:30 p.m., where I made some more, put in some more information about the final presentation, basically offering an alternative assignment idea for how to complete that presentation. So if you have downloaded a copy of the syllabus, I recommend strongly that you download a new one from Desire to Learn, and that you do that as a general practice from now till the end of the semester, so that you know that whatever version of the syllabus you're looking at is always going to be the current one. The only changes that I anticipate making from this point forward will be to include more details, not to make changes to policies or assignments that are already posted that are already taken in by you, but to add more specifics about the things that are due for the last 3 weeks of the course. But for the next 2 weeks of the course, everything's all set, everything's ready. You'll see that I've reorganized the Desire to Learn page a little bit. Everything that we used for the first 9 weeks of the course is in one place. All of the resources that relate to the final presentation in any way are all posted in one place, and also in other places as needed. 2 of the things that are important for this week include the resources that might be useful for you for figuring out how to record presentations. For this week's assignment, the presentation proposal, you do need to submit in the Dropbox to me a hard copy, that is to say a written out version of your proposal and a recording of you actually presenting that proposal. That recording can be in video or audio only. And at this point, I will say that for the rest of, for all of the assignments relating to the final presentation, you have the option of using audio only to record and submit your presentation. So video is now optional, and the requirement for a visual aid has been dropped. I will caution you, however, that the quality of the audio needs to be good enough that any student listening on whatever speakers they might be using can hear what you're saying, so that your peer reviewers will be able to get what's coming across. Again, still in the resources for final presentations portion of the D2L course, I have posted 2 versions of a file that you will use as a rubric to prepare peer review or to prepare evaluations of the 2 other students' presentation proposals that you will be listening to as a part of your work for this week. I'll say some more about that in a minute. Right now, I want to talk about how do you know what's due from week to week and how do you know where to find it. So on D2, I'll look under this folder, materials for the final weeks. And inside there, everything is organized by week. So looking at week 10, the big assignment for week 10 is to do your proposal for the presentation. So the Dropbox that you will use to submit it to me, the hard copy of it anyway, the written out version of it anyway, is here. And also, I'm including in each week a checklist. This is a desire to learn feature that might help you to get organized or to stay organized at the level that you need to be for online courses. So each week's checklist is a definitive and authoritative list of all of the assignments that you need to do for that week. And you also have the ability to check them off for your own purposes when you're done with them. If there are any links that are needed to complete the assignment, like the thing that you're supposed to read, or the rubrics that you might use for an assignment, any videos that you need to see, any discussion boards that you need to go to, those will be included in the checklists. So this is one place that you can look for any given week for all of the resources that you need in order to complete that week's work. A typical week will be next week, week 11. Because there are no assignments due in week 11 that relate to the presentation, the final presentation, it's just sort of a typical week's worth of work. The assigned reading is here in PDF form. Per one of your classmates' recommendations, I scanned and posted all of the readings that will be needed from now till the end of the semester. So if you had been relying on the library's reserved copy of the book, you could still at least access the things that are due from this point forward online. There's a quiz next week and a discussion. And again, the checklist gives you reminders of all of the week that you need to do, all the work that you need to do during that week. Let's talk about the presentation proposals. So given that some of you are a little behind on log reflection entries for place visits, and more importantly, that some of you, a lot of you, have lost access to the place that you had been visiting or had been intending to visit, I'm offering now in this syllabus a different way that you can complete the final presentation requirement. So it does not have to be place oriented. There's another way that you could do it. So I'm going to look in the syllabus where I've just given the most complete description of what I'm putting forward as an option, sort of thinking of it as option 2. So here the final presentation assignment is described in the syllabus on page 4. And again, all of this text in black is the same as it was before. But here on page 5 is the beginning of a description for an idea that you could pursue as sort of an alternative way to fulfill this assignment. And the upshot of it comes here on page 6. You can do a presentation that relates to the COVID-19 pandemic. This is a presentation that will still engage one ecotheology concept, but will connect it to a why question about the pandemic. This should not be a why question about the science of how the pandemic spread or of how viruses work or something like that, but a broader like meaning of life sort of why question. And then to connect that question to, again, one specific ecotheology concept. So I have updated the rubrics that peer reviewers will use to give an evaluation and to give feedback to the presentation proposals to incorporate this possibility. And I will also update the rubric that I will use for grading the final presentations to incorporate this method of doing the assignment instead of working with a place. After you have typed out your proposal and it's ready to submit, you will submit a copy to me in the Dropbox presentation proposal. And you will also prepare a presentation of it. So a recording of you sort of proposing what your final presentation will be, which matches the written out presentation proposal. This can be, again, a video or audio only recording, and you will submit it here in whichever of these discussion threads are visible to you. You will do that by click on Start a New Thread. You can type up whatever you want here to introduce your proposal, and then you can attach by inserting the recording in here, or you can do it this way by adding the recording, uploading it, and adding it as an attachment to the post that you submit. And when you're done, you will post it. This will begin a thread that you have initiated about your presentation proposal. By the time everyone in your group has finished submitting their presentation proposals, you should be able to see 2 other students' presentation proposals uploaded, and only those 2. I have already randomly organized the class into groups of 3 students. So you should do a peer review of the other 2 presentation proposals that will be visible to you when they are due. I'll take a word about due dates here now. From this point forward, if you don't see a due date for any assignment, to assume that I mean Friday at 11 p.m. That will basically be the due date for all work on any given week. For this week, all presentation proposals presented should be submitted to a new thread in this discussion area by 11 p.m. on Friday. And you have until Sunday night to offer peer reviews / to give feedback to the 2 other students whose presentation proposals you have access to. When you've completed that, you will post your thoughts, the rubric filled out basically right here as a reply to the thread of the original proposal presentation that you are responding to. I also want to tell you where you can look to find me during office hours. My new office hours will be Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1 to 2 p.m. and from 4 to 5 p.m. And while office hours are in progress, you will see a link right here on the main page for the course that you can use with a phone number that you could call if that's what you prefer to join me in the Google Hangouts, where I will be sitting waiting for students to show up to talk to me during office hours. So that's an option if you want to just connect with me that way. And if you'd prefer to just go one-on-one at your own convenience, send me an email and we can schedule time to talk. Thank you very much.